Max and the Ripple in the Rain. 10-year-old Max shivered, pulling his bright yellow raincoat tighter. Scotland in October was damp. Really, really damp. Raindrops drummed a steady rhythm on his hood as he trudged behind his parents along the muddy path beside Loch Ness. Grey water stretched endlessly under a sky the colour of wet slate. Tourists snapped photos of the mist-shrouded hills, sighing about maybe next time. "Cheer up, Max," Dad called over the wind. "The legend says Nessie only appears to those who truly believe and keep very quiet." Max did believe. He'd read every book, watched every blurry video. But the loch looked empty. Just water, rain, and more rain. He lagged behind, kicking a smooth grey stone. Plink! It vanished into the dark water. Then he saw it. Not a hump, not a head, just ... a ripple. But wrong. Too big, too slow. It started near the middle of the loch, where the water was deepest and blackest, and spread outwards in perfect, concentric circles, circles far larger than any fish could make. The rain kept falling, but this ripple moved against the raindrops, smooth and deliberate. Max froze. His heart thumped like a tiny drum against his ribs. Was it ... He held his breath, pressing himself against the rough bark of an old pine tree hidden from the path. The ripple reached the shore, just 20 feet away. The water didn't just lap, it swirled. Then something broke the surface. Not a monster head with teeth, but a smooth, dark curve, like the back of a giant, ancient turtle, slick and glistening. It was the colour of wet slate, almost blending with the loch, but undeniably there. It stayed for only 3 heartbeats, then slid silently back beneath the surface, leaving only the spreading rings and a strange, cold stillness in the air. Max gasped, a tiny puff of mist in the chill air. He fumbled in his pocket for his small, waterproof camera, a birthday gift. Click. The sound was loud in the sudden quiet. Had he scared it away? He waited, shivering eyes scanning the dark water. Minutes stretched, rain pattered. Tourists chattered further down the path. Maybe it was just a log, a big fish. Doubt crept in, cold as the rain. Then ... a deeper shadow moved under the water. Not near the surface, but far below. It glided slowly, parallel to the shore, heading towards a small, rocky inlet hidden by overhanging ferns. Max's breath caught. This was it. Nessie was real, and it was going somewhere. Forgetting the path, forgetting his parents, Max scrambled down the muddy bank, slipping slightly but catching himself. He crept towards the ferns, his yellow coat a bright spot in the gloom. Peering through the dripping leaves, he saw the inlet, a small, sheltered cove, and there, half submerged in the shallows, was the creature. It wasn't scary. It looked ... sad. One of its flippers, long and paddle-like, was tangled in a thick, ugly loop of old green fishing net. The creature strained gently, trying to pull free, but the net only tightened. A soft, mournful sound, like a deep sigh mixed with a whale's call, vibrated through the water and up Max's legs. Max's fear vanished, replaced by a fierce determination. Nessie needed help, but how? He couldn't swim out. The net looked strong. He looked around frantically. Near the rocks, half buried in mud, was a sharp piece of driftwood, bleached white by the sun and salt. Holding his breath, Max waded into the icy water of the inlet. It soaked his boots instantly, numbing his feet. He kept his eyes locked on the creature, which watched him with large, dark, intelligent eyes, not angry, but wary. Max held up the driftwood slowly, showing it wasn't a weapon. "It's okay," he whispered, his voice trembling. "I just want to help." He inched closer. The creature didn't move away. With careful, gentle movements, Max used the sharp end of the driftwood to saw at the thick strands of the net near the flipper. Snick, snick, each cut felt like forever. Rain dripped off his nose. His arms ached with cold and concentration. Finally, the last strand gave way. The net fell loose, sinking into the murky water. The creature flexed its flipper, then gave a powerful, silent surge. It turned its long neck slightly, looking directly at Max. In its dark eyes, Max saw something like ... gratitude. Then, with a smooth, powerful flick of its tail that sent a small wave washing over Max's boots, it glided effortlessly back into the deep, dark heart of Loch Ness. It didn't look back. Max stood in the cold water, soaked and shivering, but grinning from ear to ear. He hadn't just seen Nessie, he'd helped it. Max. Max. His parents' voices called, panicked, from the path. "Where are you?" "Down here," Max yelled, scrambling back up the bank, his yellow coat dripping. He met them, breathless. "Goodness, you're soaked," Mum fussed, pulling him into a hug. "We were worried." Max just smiled, his hand closing tightly around the smooth piece of driftwood in his pocket. His secret, "I saw it," he said simply. "Nessie, and I think she's okay now." His parents exchanged a look, part disbelief, part wonder. They'd heard the old tales of the Loch's guardian. As they walked back, Max glanced once more at the vast, mysterious water. Far out near the center, a single, perfect ripple spread across the surface, untouched by the rain. Max knew Nessie was free, and their secret was safe in the cold, deep heart of Loch Ness.